Inside each of these 4 painting kits there are 3 large tubes of SAA paints and also a guide sheet of how to paint the pictures, but in addition to that you'll have access to 3 YouTube videos where you can paint them along with me. The paper I'm using is Saunders Waterford 300 grams. I'm using quite a large brush. This is an SAA 1-inch brush, and I'm just wet the sky first of all, then added a little bit of the blue that you get with the kit. That's a little bit of the blue towards the top of the sky, then I'm adding a very weak red mixture into the base of the sky. You can see the sky's running down towards that horizon line. The reason that is because I've got the painting up at about a 30-degree angle, so the paint will always run down towards the bottom. And then using the same colours that I used in the sky beneath that horizon line, just to give me what looks like a reflection, so this will become a large lake. Before I move on, I really need to let that dry now. Well, there it is. As you can see, when it's dried a lot lighter, which is fine. This is a very pale mix of the blue with a tiny touch of the red to give it a little bit of a mauve shade. Well, all I'm doing is adding the little peaks to the top of the distant mountains and then using a clean brush with water just to extend that colour so it pales off towards that base. And again, it needs to dry before we move on. And this is a weak mix of the same 2 colours. There's just more red than the blue in this mix. And then again, a wet brush just to water that down and bring it down to the water's edge. It's this brushing with the wet brush that creates the misty effect between the different layers of mountains. And before we paint the foreground mountains, I just need to let that dry. Slightly stronger colour now, using the yellow and the blue to create greens, and also adding a little bit of the red in there to create the odd brown shade. I'm getting various shades in this foreground mountains. As you can see, it's a little bit stronger than the ones behind, and it's also looking a little bit warmer, which adds depth. Well, a shade stronger still and a little bit darker, as you can see, a mix of the 3 colours will give me a nice grey, and then I can touch along the edge of the water, just create what looks like trees along that water's edge. To create reflections in this still water, I'm using a very wet brush and allowing some colour to run down. I'll also add a little bit of a mix of colour in there later just to add strength. There we go. And that's a little bit of brown used by mixing the 3 colours together, but very pale. This is probably the strongest mix of paint I've used, and it is, as you can see, very warm. This is mainly the red, but I've got a touch of the blue in there and a touch of the yellow, so I get this nice mix of colour. There's a strong yellow going in now, and I'll continue to add these variety of colours until we've got this foreground land in place. Just to improve the warmth of that foreground, I'm adding in some of the red with a touch of blue, but there's more red in there, so it's quite warm now. Mixing the three colours together quite strong gives me a nice dark, and I can use this dark to add some more depth and colour to this foreground. I'll also use the same mix to create a few trees and a couple of fences, and you'll see that develop as we move on. Well, I've changed to a very small detailer brush now, and with quite a strong dark paint I'm just putting in boundary fencing, and I'll pop in 3 trees using the same colour. Well, as you can see, I wasn't very neat with the fence, and that's what I want. I wanted it to be a little rugged. It's on the edge of the lake and will have been there for a while, so it won't be all neat and tidy. And I'm doing the same with the trees. They look very wintered and very weathered. Well, there's the finished painting. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. As you can see, the blue colours in the background really do seem far away, and these warm colours in the foreground really give it some depth. I am available for workshops and classes and courses, and why not visit my website to find out more about me and my work. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.